right. We are here for the Southborough Zoning Board of Appeals for Monday, January 21st, 2016. And we have our first matter on the board for this evening, 250 Turnpike Road, 0 Parkerville Road. Are the petitioners in the waiting room?
I have George online. Let me just bring him over. There he is.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, George.
Hello.
Sorry, Lord, did you introduce me or anything? I didn't catch the beginning of this. It was on mute.
No, I just said that you were here, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead, state your name for the record and the
Sure.
floor is yours.
George Bonan on behalf of FD 250 Turnpike LLC. I'm basically here today to request a continuance without testimony. And that's basically it. I'm here also in the event you guys have any questions. However, we probably want to keep it limited. So because I'm continuing without testimony or requesting to rather.
Okay. With respect to the continuance, I just want to make sure that all of our timelines are going to be continually told as well.
Yes, so George did send me a letter to extend the deadline to close the public hearing till April 1st. So if the board is agreeable to that and George is still agreeable to that, I can file that with the town clerk tomorrow.
George, can you confirm that, please?
I can confirm.
Okay. Does the board have any questions or concerns on continuing this matter?
I do not.
I'm ready for a motion.
Make a motion to continue to April 1st? Is that what we said?
February 11th,
Oh.
continue the hearing to February.
Oh, February 11th, sorry.
Realistically, George, if I can, I'm sorry, a little point of order. Do you think February 11th is realistic?
Yes, and if I could, I'll lay out some groundwork for you guys, just so we're on the same page and you can offer any input you have on the timeline. But we are nearly complete with our plan revisions and our responses to both HSH, which is the civil consultant, and Lucas Environmental, which is the wetlands consultant. And I told Laura in an email that I plan on having them later this week. That's leaking into early next week, but it's still enough time for us to provide the plan revisions and response letters to those respective consultants, have them digest it, and then what I'd like to do is have our engineers reach out to them once they've digested it and formalized opinions as to our comments, and then have the engineers and consultants kind of work behind the curtains to narrow the issues before coming before the board on February 11th.
Okay.
And I think between now and February 11th, assuming that we get everything in early next week, that is enough time for us to achieve all that.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So there was a motion before.
Make a motion to continue to February 11th, 2026.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
We have to do roll call. 'Cause
Oh.
we're remote.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Our next meeting is February 11th. This is continued to the 11th, not the
Yeah.
18th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, sorry, I'm not on the
Nope, you're
remote.
good. We have David, Paul, and Doug now.
David, Paul, and Doug all are online. And is everybody voting here this evening? They are. So Doug,
Hi, I'm good.
okay. David? Paul?
Good.
Was that Paul saying yes?
Yes, Paul.
And David, are you there? Did we
Yep.
lose him?
You hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay.
Do you agree to the extension?
Yes.
Perfect. Doris?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
All in favor? Robbins is yes. Okay, we're extended through the 11th.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks, George.
Talk to you. All right. Next point of order, discussion and vote on the 150 Corderville Road special permit to allow multiple uses. I'm going to pull that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it on the screen as well, so you guys can see. So basically where we left this at the last meeting, was that Jay Tellerman and I were gonna take a stab at drafting the final decision. So we sent this over to you guys to review, so we just need to, if you guys have any comments or edits that you would like to go in there, otherwise we will vote on issuing the decision and we can get that filed. So, I'll leave it up to you guys.
All right, let me pull this up as well.
I had a question when we're ready for questions.
Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. So it's more of an observation than a question. Is it in here that I had read there was a slight reservation whether the stored energy system was allowable as part of the solar project itself? So is that, like, where is that in the section? It's more a procedural question. Where is that? Is
Yeah.
it by
So this
Attorney
is-
Tallerman had not, was it in the findings?
Yeah, so I think you're referring, if I have it correct, finding 6, where town council did not fully agree that the battery energy storage system was classified as fuel storage, but he had kind of opined that it didn't really make much of a difference because it was protected under the Dover Amendment.
It was just a broad question in that we relied on that, didn't we?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, if it was classified as fuel storage, it is an allowable use in that district, but because it's also protected under Dover, even if it's not technically allowed in that district, it's protected under Dover, so it could go in that district. So,
Okay.
Jamie, I know you had some objections and reservations on this decision. Is there anything that we need to look at or revise with respect to the decision? I don't know if you had an opportunity to think about this any further.
I did not. I still agree with my decision.
No problem, of course.
But no, I don't have anything to revise.
Okay,
but
I just wanted to check on that.
Memorialized what was discussed.
Hey Doug, did you have any thoughts or comments with respect to the decision?
Nope, no comments.
Mr. Chair, David? Oh, did he
He's
jump off?
no, he's still here. He's trying to,
Yeah, I had a good look at it, Mike. I didn't really see anything that I objected to. It seemed to me like it captured what we were talking about and was pretty thorough. So I had no objections to anything that was written in the decision.
Okay, and then Paul?
I have no comments, no objections.
I have none. We don't need, we can vote, but I don't think, do we need to?
I mean, I would just vote, if you guys would like to issue the decision as drafted, I would just make a motion. and
Someone
vote
wants to
that
make
effect.
make a motion to approve the decision as drafted?
I'll make a motion to approve the decision as drafted.
And do I have a second?
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Jamie?
Aye.
Doris?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Doug?
I think I'm technically an alternate, but aye.
And then David?
Aye.
And Robbins is aye.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
thank you.
all right. Thank you, David, for jumping on for that.
No problem. So if we're set, I'm gonna
No
play hooky and
worries.
skip off here. All right. Thanks, everybody.
You
Appreciate
got
it.
it. Happy New
Okay.
Year.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Bye.
And then we've got the approval of the meeting minutes from December 10th. Does anyone have any questions or concerns with the meeting minutes as drafted?
I have no comments.
Nope.
Paul, Doug?
No comments?
Hearing
No
none,
comments.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as drafted.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as drafted for the December
10th.
10th meeting of zoning board of appeals.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Jamie?
Aye.
Doris?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Robbins is aye. ADU discussion. What do we want to discuss, Laura?
It's really up to you guys where you want to go from here. I had put together a spreadsheet that I'd sent you guys, just kind of information on existing ADUs with respect to the size of the primary dwelling, the size of the ADU, lot size, and the reason for the ADU, if I could find it, if that was like listed within prior decisions. Just to give you guys kind of a little bit of background information on what's existing in case it was helpful to the discussion as far as, do we want to draft a bylaw that allows something a little bit larger by right, or to create a special permit process for those homeowners with homes under 1,800 square feet who are kind of unduly impacted by the current process.
Understood. I feel passionately about the latter. Specifically, again, full disclosure, I have a house that's under 1,800 square feet, even though I have no interest in adding anything else other than what I already have. But that being said, I feel it puts an undue burden on homes that are almost the most likely candidates for needing an ADU. And so as a result, I feel it's really important that get addressed and hopefully corrected within the bylaws.
I feel very strongly in agreement with you, Mike, but for a differing reason, in that I'm more of a numbers person, and this isn't a large sample, because I know we have a much larger amount of houses, but the existing ADUs that we know existed, I analyzed it just a little bit, and our current ADUs, 41% of them, whether they were properly permitted or not, I can't speak to them, but 41% of those are over 900 square feet. So that supports sort of your thought. It seems unduly fair, whether they were permitted or the reasoning is ever found out. At the time, 900 square feet in this small sample appears to be somewhat unfair. And if you look at it, I could look at it a lot of different ways, but
I love it.
yeah, no, I like to really, I really do like to get in the numbers. And we're working on those numbers. I sent some ideas to Laura, and she,
I love it.
and well, I think if we were to get this to town meeting into the March, I think people understand numbers and appreciate something, the why behind it, so numbers can help that a bit. But our average, and average is just that, we have 34 of them, and we're over 20, it's a margin, but we're over 25%, even on an average of those 34 known ADUs that are out there. And I have two other thoughts on it, and it has to do with where we have percentages used in other cases in the town. Our newer law, the residential district in downtown, where there's some difficulty with the percentage, and someone could correct me, that the percentage wasn't working for the developer to put the retail downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an example where percentages they seem good. I could go into an argument for them, but I'm going to stick with the argument against them. And that doesn't seem to become a fruition to get the retail that area was designed to, help. And then I just saw something through planning where there's a look at, it's very early stages in the newer MBTA zone, and there's a percentage limitation to put, and you can correct me, 60 units, it's a percentage in that lot size, that it can't be more than 30% of the density on a house lot, so you want to put 60 You can't put 60 units on the first blush on that lot size for those new apartments that might go across from CrossFit. So 2 examples where we're in very much need of housing or retail or development where percentages is getting in the way. Not that percentages aren't a good method, but so I'm very strongly in favor of looking at increasing. And then there's details in it that Laura, I think, shared with us also, but maybe someone else can speak. So I'm a flat square footage proponent, in this case on ADUs. I don't know if that would fit for other zoning changes, but if we brought this up maybe to 1,200, maybe that would, by right. Yeah, okay, anybody else want to talk about it?
Well, on the information, the data that you provided, I thought it was super helpful, that it's literally like parents, in-laws, family member, parents, medical need. I mean, this is exactly what ADUs are intended to provide, is additional housing for family aging and staying in place. I literally, besides unknown, I think there's one that's a rental.
Right.
I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about.
I think there's one coming up on a rental somewheres in our stratosphere. Maybe that's going to come up to us maybe next month. Why did I think that? I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm thinking that in my mind's eye.
You made it up.
I may talk too much, just stop me. The other, when there was some information, you said, well, what areas of the code we'd have to address. I'm on the fence about the area, although I'm in favor of the section that carried over from, that still exists in our zoning code about going to planning on ADUs or just going straight to special permit. There was a section in there maybe, but when you, so in favor of simplification, I need a strong case of why I would need to go to planning if it's by right, if I'm reading that section right.
That's how I read it.
Yeah, but going to town meeting, what's the most important thing? Because we could end up not getting the most important thing passed and getting stymied on who should be planning and site planning it. Okay, now I've finished.
One thing really quick I did want to point out is in going through all of this and taking a look at what the bylaw says and the definitions within our bylaw is the current wording. And, if you guys are looking to get rid of that 25% cap in the special permit process, this will kind of get rid of it anyways, but it calls out 25% of the habitable floor area, which is not defined in our bylaw. Gross floor area is, our definition differs a little bit from the state definition. And then I did learn that the way that gross floor area is measured is different from the way that the assessors measure square footage when they do their database. So there's a little bit difference. So I don't know if that is something that you guys want to take a look at, just to make sure that there's a definition for things and that it's very clear so that there's no confusion. But I think one way of getting around to that is just saying, here's a flat square footage that, we're going to allow this square footage by right. Anything over that needs to be a special permit. And then if you wanted to put an upper cap on the special permit ones, you could do that by square footage as well. So, and then it's just clean and easy.
Yeah, I have concerns about the word habitable, whether the bathrooms in the garage and what can happen in special permitting is that storage area becomes part of habitable. Yeah, it would be better to have it consistent.
Imagine that.
I couldn't imagine that could happen, or what are those awnings that attach to the house and the breezeways?
Well, that's a 3-season room, that's not habitable.
So, just wanted to call that out, because I
I think
noticed
it's an
that was
important
not,
reference, yeah.
it's not defined in our bylaw, which leaves it open to interpretation, which is confusing.
And that's where the problems come in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm using this standard, well, I'm using that standard.
But we have gross square footage defined in our bylaw.
We do.
Okay, so that may move, but those in the know would know the difference.
Yes, for
Okay,
sure.
but the rest would not know the difference, okay.
Paul, Doug, do you have anything to add to this just absolutely bonfire of a conversation? We've got what, how many million viewers right now?
I know.
0.
However many we had, they're dropping like flies.
It's just us.
Well, after the meeting, there'll be like 9 views on Southborough media or something. But then,
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, something goes
yeah.
wrong, they say,
No.
when did you guys
This
When
decide?
did you decide this? When
this
did you
is
hear it?
the cure to insomnia. Those 9 viewers, it's because they can't sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, so maybe I do have a question to make things like, keep the excitement going. So, so basically, if I miss something, which is usually quite possible, so Mike, you're proposing that 900 square feet is adequate indoors. You're saying maybe it should be 1,200?
No.
No,
So right
I'm sorry.
now, by right pursuant to the state,
Yes.
if you have, let's say you have an 1,800 square foot home, you could add up to 900 square feet by right.
Okay.
And my issue with that is that for homes that are under 1,800 square feet,
Yep.
again, not taking into account what Laura was just mentioning about how to define square feet, but what it does is it creates a cap. So for me, I'll use myself as an easy example. I have approximately 1,500 square feet. So I could only build an ADU of 750 square feet, I think. Is that, yeah. And
The-
so,
Okay.
what
The
happened?
25% part.
Yeah, I think it should be 900 square feet by right across the board with basically no size restriction on the principal dwelling. You could add up to 900 square feet by right, essentially. Because like a house like mine, an ADU is more appealing because I have such a limit of my square footage to begin with.
Correct. I tend to agree with that because obviously the bigger the house, the more room there is in it. Also, you mentioned like usable land area or ground coverage, and that, again, typically a bigger house, there's such a general statement, is going to be on a bigger lot. So there may actually be ground coverage available too. So it does get a little tricky. As far as living space goes, that's always been in gray area here in Massachusetts, I think. Especially when you see houses, like what gets listed as, livable or usable square footage. There's very different interprets of that.
Mhm.
Florida, it's like a lot more cut and dry. It's whatever is
exactly
under
right.
AC. So if it's under AC, it's livable space. Not everyone has AC up here, so you don't quite use that. But so I know that can get into a lot of gray area.
What were
So
we
I guess I
saying
don't have
about?
much.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
So it's not really much to say other than trying to keep the excitement going.
What were we saying about 1,200 square feet? Were we saying that should be the by right?
I thought Doris said something to that extent.
I
Well,
heard 1,200.
yeah, okay,
somewhere.
I'm gonna admit, I added that peppery sauce to the discussion, that only an arbitrary, but not that arbitrary of a figure,
I mean,
to
can
avoid a lot of special permitting, because
Can there
I think,
be-
I didn't get the average square footage size. Did I get you got the average square footage size. What are people doing now? 900's pretty small. It doesn't hold a
Yeah.
family, so, and then you could always go to a 2-family, I suppose. 1,200's a livable, that's where that thought came from. I'm trying,
so like
I'm very much in favor, Paul, and maybe this is not the number, I'm not that wedded to 1,200 square feet, that people are able to put a second home with the least amount of permitting, unless it was truly a special permit, too high, too long, too near, out of conformity, to put them through planning on something intended. So that's why I was going to say up the square footage, so it could actually fit a small family. I think 900 square feet, if you were to put your mother and your father and your parents or a sick person, but it wouldn't accommodate maybe boomerang families, that type of thing.
Yeah, so on Cape, I want to say it's Dennis, they've increased it to 1,200 by right.
Yeah, it solves, a problem. But even when I was looking at the 60 units that potentially would go up across CrossFit in the MBTA zone, those are 2-bedroom units. And, so, I mean, I'm,
The-
like, it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of 1,200 by right. Do we think it's gonna cause issues passing at town meeting at that number, or do we think it will be better for town meeting? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so a lot of my thoughts are what would pass, town meeting? What would pass town meeting? And then you've got to look at the accessory, because you could, ADU could be outside the house. So you
Right.
could have to have 2 houses on the property at 1,200 square feet.
Just in the interest of
Well, you
time.
would at 900 square feet also.
Just in the interest of time, as far as passage, I do think it's easier just to keep it with the state restrictions. Because what happens is, let's just say you wanted a 1,200 square foot. If you need a special permit for that, I don't think that's a heavy bar to hurdle.
Agreed.
Yeah, There-
Okay.
You know, it's just one of those
Agreed.
things from oh, now we're changing the size, now we're doing this. To me, the 900 square foot on homes under 1,800 square foot by right, that feels like that's fair. Where if we change the scope of the ADU in contradiction to the state law, I think there's gonna be questions and pushback on that. That's just my
I agree with
personal
that.
take. Because
Yeah.
again, special permits,
So,
it's not a,
so it's a zoning
not
question.
onerous.
So, I don't know if it changed to the code, you could just go to special permit and it's solved, and then we're into the discussion of whether, you're going to planning also. I'm perfectly fine, there's a route that the 1,200 square foot ADU could be put in, which is almost like, at that point, a 2-family.
yeah.
At that point,
And-
maybe it's a 2-family.
And Doris, by the way, when you're talking about the size of a house for folks, to put it in perspective, I had an 814 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1-bath rental property on the Cape that quite typically there'd be 8 people staying there. So that's under 900 square feet, and it was, I said, it was 3 bedrooms. Still had a
8
kitchen,
people.
living room, dining room. So if you had to, you can fit quite a bit into 900 square feet.
Okay, Paul. I'm trying to envision that, but no, that's true. What I was more talking, that a 900 square foot house, you would fit 4 in it. That's what I think when I think of a 900 square foot house.
And again, it was 3 bedrooms, so it was, I mean,
Oh, no,
You know,
I
it
grew,
was-
I grew up in a 3-bedroom, 750 square foot house. That's
Yeah.
why I'm giggling to myself.
right. But I
I mean, when you
think
got in
what-
the bed, you were hitting the wall, sorry.
I didn't say it was a big house, but I think what Mike's saying is, I mean, we could sit here, or everyone could sit around and think of every scenario,
Yeah,
and there'd be
okay.
no way to cover or think of everything, so
No, I'm all about,
perhaps,
I'm all about bringing it in consensus on getting it passed with a path towards those who want it larger. Special permit does it.
Yeah.
I'll say, is the clam happy at high or low tide, or is the clam just happy? I'm happy.
they're happy at high tide,
Is
actually.
this high tide? So
Yeah,
I'm good with that. But there's a path to special permit for those who want to make it larger. And a lot of times you have to make it larger because you can just do scenarios because the cuts of the houses. You don't want to do an unusual cut to get it to 900 square foot if you had a house stacked 1,200 square feet, 1,200 square feet, 2,400 square feet. That's where I'm coming from on it, which we don't even know the census of the square footage and the average. We don't have all that configuration, I would suppose. We just know the habitable space or the gross space.
So what day is town meeting? I don't have it in my.
February, March?
There are a bunch. So
Oh.
there's special town meeting in March, which I think is just for the school option.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Annual town meeting, let me see if I can,
Isn't that May?
I want to say April, but I
April or May?
don't know.
Okay, well,
That
I'm
sounds more,
I really don't want to miss it. That was,
April 11th.
Oh, okay, I'm not gonna
his
miss that.
annual town meeting. So
Okay.
that was something I also wanted to talk to you guys about, like in terms of timeline, because we would still need to draft a bylaw, which I'm happy to take like a first run through and send it to you guys, but because it's a zoning change, it has to go to the select board, who has to refer it to planning board, who has to then hold public hearings. And also the bylaw that we're looking to amend hasn't yet passed the AG's office from the fall. So is it something that we want to rush to get on for April 11th, or should we kind of look at this for
Well,
like
we probably can't amend something that isn't law yet, right? Just,
Yeah, that's the thing, because if the AG comes back and says like, no, we're not approving this, then, you know, we're kind of stuck.
They're not gonna,
I don't think they will disapprove it,
Right.
but I don't know. It's
Well, I have an idea. We could, I'm always move it ahead. We could really get it in good shape.
That's
Go
how I
those
feel.
routes, gotta go to select board, gotta go to planning.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta edit it and then say, we're gonna hold till September. I'm really okay with
Okay.
holding it. I don't know how other members feel, but the doing nothing is never really much of an option for me, so, because then it just sits in the burner and,
that's how I feel.
you know, but
It-
I'm okay with the disappointment we don't make it.
yeah, fine with that.
I'm 100% with you. Let's try to see if we can get it. I can try to
Because I won't
carve out
remember.
an hour.
I'll
Happy to
remember,
do
like we had all
If
these.
you do that
times
first
sometimes
pass,
I
and
don't
then
remember.
let's just
My
try
husband
to
told
go
me I
from
look
there.
like a little bit like a clown in my pants. too.
Husbands are always saying smart things like
That's
that.
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, they do say smart
Yeah.
things.
If I could, for the first draft, we're looking 900 square feet by right across the board, regardless of square footage. We want to remove that 25% cap under the special permit
And 35%.
and 35
That's in the historical
for the historical.
building, not
Okay.
district. It's a historical
All right.
building.
Did you guys want to potentially put an upper cap on it? So somebody comes in, they have a 10,000 square foot house, of which there's 8
I don't
in
think
town.
so. I feel like that can go do the special permit and either it's
That's how I
acceptable or
feel.
it's not.
Okay,
That's exactly it.
all right, so just remove that that percentage cap,
Okay,
and then leave everything else kind of as is, process stays the same as far as special permit? Or,
Yeah, with
Okay.
zoning,
okay, with the report from planning board and board of health, just to make sure bedrooms and all of that stuff.
so clearly we need Board of Health.
We do need board of,
Clearly we do.
Yeah.
What do we need from planning?
so the current process is they just get a report from planning that planning will send over to us to say, let me pull it up. I don't even know what they, hold on. With the zoning.
when it comes to select board, I'd like to attend if someone else is also gonna attend. So there was,
Hold on. So current process, they need a report from the planning board describing the lot on which the dwelling is located, the neighborhood where it's located, and the effect of the proposed apartment thereon, the adequacy of ingress and egress provisions, and the recommendations of the planning board as to the advisability of granting the special permit and any restrictions that should be imposed as a condition thereof, and provisions for off-street parking in a manner consistent with the character of the premises.
Now, are these for by right ADUs?
No, those are special permit ones only.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
so it made me worry about egress and ADUs, but we're not discussing that. That is often a problem with apartments that can't get in, can't
Yeah.
get out.
Well,
It
that's
is
the whole
also-
thing that they're trying to fix with the ADUs, is you gotta
Yeah.
make them legally conforming. You just can't have your illegal basement apartment that you can't get out of, and you die.
Yeah, and hopefully that gets picked up in the building permit process.
Exactly
know,
right. That's
Um,
really for the building commissioner.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to undo any safety issue regarding egress,
100%.
because egress on apartments is the problem with the ADUs,
Mhm.
one of the problems, besides sewage.
That's the big one.
Well, on the Cape, I was wondering what they were still using sand, not sewer. A lot of the Cape's going into sewage. I'm worried about Paul's 8-person house. Where are they flushing the toilet?
Gosh. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to include or remove?
What about that section, thoughts about the planning? I'd have to reread the section where it's like the old to strike it, or the section, there's a section in here, because ADUs are supposed to be those that don't go to special permit. They don't go to planning, right?
No, so we have nothing currently in our bylaw about by right ADUs. So we would be adding in to all of the zones where ADUs are allowed. We would just be altering it to 900 square feet, like regardless, and getting rid of that 50% gross floor area. That's the cap
Yeah.
right now on the smaller ones. So we would just be amending that and then removing the 25 and 35% caps under the special permit process.
Okay. And nothing on the section, which is a general section with planning and zoning board of appeals. There's another section you had highlighted, hold on.
Let's see. Let's see what I pulled up.
That's a pretty high bar to get through a meeting as it is. Shouldn't be,
Let's see.
because it's taking what the state wants and making it just more fair,
Yeah,
okay? And I think that's a good, there was something you had provided, Will Dorsey.
so this was we would change the Residence A district to say accessory dwelling unit that is not larger than 900 square feet.
That's it.
That's all it would say. And then that would,
Cascade.
yeah, kind of through. These are special permit ones
Yep.
here. So those would stay the same. Because we're saying you can have 900 square feet by right, anything bigger than that would go to special permit. So
Yep.
all these other districts would stay the same.
It's fine.
And then special permit requirements under, it was accessory apartments is now, so this is the version that was passed at town meeting in the fall. So we would change where it says like state law dimensional standards, we would just change that to exceeding 900 square feet.
Okay.
This is our current process here. And then this was the report from the planning board, which we just said we're okay with keeping.
Are you all right with that, Doris?
Well, that was where I was getting with it.
Yeah, this section right here.
Planning board describe levels of the.
It's like that, right there.
So planning board's in charge of
It's
that.
the advisability of granting special permit.
I'm stuck. Hold on.
It's an advisory report.
Advisability.
Yeah. So it's not restrictive. The ZBA doesn't have to follow their recommendation. We do need to include in our decision if we differ from their recommendation, but it's not.
So the Board of Health, okay, so explain. It was always in the code.
Yep, so this was always in the code. This is our current special permit process. That has not changed.
So in order to, for all ADUs, go through that.
Only ones that go through special permit.
Only ones that go through.
Over 900 square feet.
So, yes, yeah.
I'm okay with it, because it's as it was, and it's
Yep.
just I don't want those smaller units
Restricted.
restricted, and that's the
Yeah.
kind of
Yep.
one
So-
baby step at a
Okay,
time.
so we'll keep that process the same, and then it would just be getting rid of the habitable floor area of the accessory unit shall not exceed 25%. And then under adaptive reuse of historic buildings, we'll remove the 35%. And then I did highlight the section that not more than the required minimum exterior alterations have been or will be made. I just wanted to make sure that that's something you guys wanted to keep in there.
Not more than required. It's basically saying, if you ask for this ADU, that's, you're not asking anything in addition. It's not approving anything in addition. I'm not quite sure what this is asking.
It's basically just saying that like you're not gonna go above and beyond to alter the exterior of your home in order to put this in. But I wasn't sure.
Is it needed?
Yeah, I don't know. if they'll
Yeah,
need
that was
this.
my question over to the right, was like, is it necessary and is it going to limit people's ability to do,
Yeah.
say, like, build an accessory structure to house the
I
ADU?
would just-
And do we even have a definition of minimum exterior alterations? What
Alterations.
does that mean? I think we take it out.
Yeah.
All right, so. Okay.
Well, so if you had to add to the house, however you chose to up or down to the sides or offsets, that's not a minimum exterior alterations if you have to add to it, we're limited easily.
Right, like I would think that this is kind of more, okay, so you're putting an ADU in your basement, now you need to add a second egress, and that's your minimum alteration for your exterior. Versus, I wanna put an ADU on my property and I need to build an addition or build an accessory structure to house it.
You could take a porch, and winterize it, and that's your ADU, and now you've gotta do quite a bit to the outside to make that happen.
Yeah.
You might need to put a basement under it, I don't know, you know, I don't know. Might have to run
Yeah.
you might have to do quite a bit, but people convert porches, people convert garages,
Yeah,
and put additions, and,
I always think less is more.
I do too.
right,
I mean, so what's that gonna do to benefit the small ADU person?
okay, so we can just.
Not
It
many
usually
people are
fall
gonna
into it.
add, I think, unless I'm mistaken, the goal is, what we don't wanna do is, let's just say they're building a detached ADU, that then it's, we're gonna build a detached ADU, and then we're gonna build this other structure, or more, and they're kinda using the ADU to expand the footprint, so to speak.
But then you're over 900 square foot,
Well,
And if you're looking
Then
at
not
you
for
go-
it,
living space, but.
okay,
but if you're looking at this, I mean, this is the special permit process, right? So like,
yeah.
you guys would have the ability to review all of those things
Mm-hmm.
and condition them, so is this really necessary? or
I don't
is
think
it-
we need it, personally.
I don't think we need it.
Okay, we can delete that.
Is there anything else we were gonna take apart? I think that was it.
Paul or Doug, did you have thoughts on that?
They're still with us?
I think we.
They might be sleeping.
Hello?
Yep.
Hi.
Okay, glad you're
No,
back.
no further thoughts. I'm listening still.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Okay, so really, I mean, I think it's fairly minimal changes. So I can put that draft together and I can get the timeline going if we want to do that and work with the select board and planning to get it on the warrant.
That'd be
I can
great,
start that tomorrow.
great.
Yeah.
And send that over.
You got it.
Great.
Cool.
Good.
Anything else?
Question, when it goes to select board, you'll tell me, right?
I will, yeah. So it'll go to the select board in the form of like, hey, we would like this to be on the
Yeah.
warrant.
I'd rather be at the meeting,
Yeah,
so
and
that's
then they
fine.
just need to refer it. It's a procedural thing. They don't usually have lengthy discussions, but yes, I will let you know when that's happening.
There's not a need to be there then.
I don't think so.
Oh, good.
No, I think the planning board hearings will probably be, I'll need at least one of you guys to go.
Yeah, it's kind of,
Unless you want me to go. I think it might be
Yeah.
better coming from you guys.
well, there's nothing in there that doesn't seem very pragmatic to me unless you want to make it.
Yeah,
It's just a pragmatic change. It's not, doesn't,
It's simplifying it, really, and
well,
making
if
it more
someone
equitable.
agrees, someone may be a high proponent of percentages and what I would say is complexity, and they would not. Okay, so, but I'll
Okay.
go, if I can do it, I'll go.
Okay.
Should we end the meeting?
All rolling?
I don't think we need.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Okay, good deal.
Paul,
Paul.
Yes.
it's your time to shine,
Your
buddy.
turn.
Oh, thank God. I was kind of gearing up for this. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I hear a motion and a second. Jamie,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Robbins is yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.